What year were you born in?
1988.
So how old were you in the 90s?
I was ages 2 to 12, so in preschool and elementary school. I remember the Columbine shootings in 1999, and I was in 4th grade when that happened.
I was too young, so I didn't know what it meant, but apparently did it in the Oval Office.
We were making plans for our prom, and we heard the news. And in 1999, you didn't get like up to the minute news like you get now. So we all had gone home and we were watching the news, and then kind of found out about it and then the repercussions in our own school because of what had happened in Columbine. So everybody was a little bit more concerned about building security and developing school security plans and those kind of things.
One thing that I remember, just because for those students that know this, I was in the Peace Corps in Kenya, and shortly after I got back in 96, 97, so it must have been late 90s, the Kenyan and Tanzanian embassies were bombed and targeted by terrorists, so that's one of the big events that I remember.
How old were you in the 90s?
Early 30s.
Well, do you remember any major events from the 90s?
Yeah, I remember some of them, the high school shooting, the Columbine shooting, the Kurt Cobain when he committed suicide, the singer of Nirvana.
What were you wearing as a little kid?
What was I wearing as a little kid? Oh God. Overalls. I had a lot of overalls. And
Care to share?
no. Well, they had Pooh Bear on it. Winnie the Pooh. I remember Winnie the Pooh.
I first started teaching here in the 90s. I think of some of the fashion trends in the 90s. I know one of the things that we had to watch, police, right away was girls. It's changed now, but girls used to always wear the midriff, so they'd have their bellies exposed. That was a whole new dress policy that we had to do.
So a lot of baggy clothes, so a lot of flannels. I started growing my hair out long then. That was kind of like a new thing for me too. My parents were not very happy about that. One night actually my dad walked into my bedroom while I was sleeping and cut my hair off because he was not happy with the fact that I was growing it out. Yeah, we can laugh about it now. What else?
There was kind of a transition from wearing stuff like MC Hammer pants, big baggy dance pants, to starting to wear lots of flannels and blue jeans with ripped up holes in them, stuff like that.
I'd be wearing the flannels and the printed tees, and I had the Converse All-Stars and the ripped jeans, so yeah, that was kind of my big deal.
I know that there was a big kind of trend at the mid-90s where the like crisscross, and they wore their clothes backwards.
What?
So like, you'd have a baseball jersey, and instead of the buttons being up here, they'd be on the back, and they'd turn their like pants around so that the back pockets were in front, and the front pockets were in the back. Kind of strange, yeah. And then bib overalls too for a time period there when I was in elementary school in the early 90s were a big deal, and people would wear them with like one strap open.
The 80s was all about big, and I think the 90s was all about them being kind of small with the hair too. I don't know if you're familiar like the heroin chick look, kind of the darker eyes and sort of the flat hair. I think that was kind of a big part of it too.
Is there anything else you could think of that you want to say when you...
It was a good time, lots of new music and stuff like that, and I went to a lot of concerts, but it was a lot less produced music. People actually sang their songs, performed the music live, and it was just a good time.
Teletubbies. Teletubbies. Yes, Teletubbies. They had a vacuum cleaner that made toast too. And I remember, what was the show called? Little Bear.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Is that what
Bears?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm thinking of Berenstain Bears. Oh no.
Little Bear.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. That was a good one.
Sesame Street.
Ooh.
Is that on your tape? What else?
Yeah.
You want to know?
Yeah.
Can I please fix my hair?
My favorite was Home Improvement. There was also Full House, but that started in the early 80s, but it went into the 90s. Dinosaurs was in the early 90s. Step by Step, Family Matters, and Sabrina the Teenage Witch.